Welcome to the RedChip Virtual Conference.
My name is Gary Biles, and here today to talk about Canarc Resource Corp. I'm the President and Chief Operating Officer of Canarc. Canarc is a junior gold exploration company. Its primary focus is North America, Canada and the U.S., and principal properties are in British Columbia and in the Yukon. The presentation I'll give you today will be an overview of the assets of the company and what our plans are to advance these properties, the three main properties we have. The presentation will contain forward-looking statements. We are an junior exploration company. A lot of the things we talk about are not proven and are yet to be proven. So it's just a caution to all of our listeners. So Canarc trades on the TSX in Toronto, over the board bulletin board in the States, CRCUF, in Canada symbol CCM, and in Frankfurt CAN. 94 million shares outstanding, fully diluted 108 million shares. Most of those 14 million shares are in employee stock options, which will not be exercised or out of the money. Trading range for the last year has been 9 cents to 28 cents. Currently trading at today around 15 cents. Market cap around $18 million. Now, I want to spend some time going through this slide to talk about the people behind Canarc. The principal person, the chief person, I guess, behind Canarc, Bradford Cook, formed the company in 1988. So it's been around for some time. And Brad's and our main asset during those 20 years we've had is new Polaris, and I'll talk about that later on in this presentation. But Brad's main claim to fame, I guess, or biggest success, is being with another company, which he started up in 2003, Endeavour Silver Corp. Started out as a 10-cent stock in 2003, formed the company to do silver exploration and ultimately production in Mexico. Currently has 2 producing properties in Mexico, and in the final stages of purchasing a 3rd property, currently producing over 4 million ounces of silver a year at about $6 an ounce. The stock has gone from 10 cents in 2003 to about $10 stock today. So it's been quite a success story and continuing to be quite a success story, and they've had a lot of luck. Brad, of course, is the chairman and CEO of Canarc, as well as the CEO of Endeavour. So a lot of Brad's time in the past few years has been focused in Endeavour. This year he's making concerted effort to spend more time with Canarc and trying to advance Canarc. Gary Biles, I'm the president, COO. I've been with Canarc since 2007. My background is I'm a metallurgist by training. Spent most of my career, which is close to 40 years now, working at mining operations. 16 of those years as general manager at 4 different gold mines. And I suppose the most profitable or successful of those was the 8 years at Eskay Creek Mine, which is a homestake operation in northwestern British Columbia. One of the richest gold mines in the world at 2 ounces per ton gold, 100 ounces per ton silver. Philip E., he's our Vice President of Finance and Chief Financial Officer. Philip has got close to 25 years of experience in the financing field. Looks after all of our accounting duties and all of our regulatory requirements as well. James Moores, Vice President of Exploration. Again, James has got about 25 years of exploration experience in Canada and in Suriname, Northern Canada, a lot of time there, and he's been with Canarc since 2002, working on all of our properties, some in Mexico and then in British Columbia. Bruce Bride, and our directors, we also have a wealth of experience with our directors. Bruce Bride, a mining engineer, 40 years experience operating mines across Canada. Len Harris, metallurgist by training, professional engineer, spent 20 years as a senior vice president with Newmont. He was the guy who built Yanacocha in Peru and managed it. So he's got a ton of experience. Derek Bullock, also a 30-plus years experience in mining, was the president of IAMGOLD before his retirement. William Price, Bill Price, he's got a financial background, and he was the CEO of a financial company in San Francisco, RCM Capital Management, which is subsequently bought out by Allianz Global Investors. So we've got a lot of experience in this company. We've got people with lots of experience building mines. I've been involved in construction of 3 mines and operating mines, obviously a ton of experience. So we've got the people to build the mines and operate the mines. Canarc, investor highlights, gold exploration company. Our plan is to go from just pure exploration into a producing company, and by advancing our primary asset, which is the new Polaris mine in northwestern British Columbia. As I just discussed, we've got a very experienced group of people in Canarc with the capacity to build mines and operate mines, and geological background to find new properties, new mines. Core assets, the high-grade 1.15 million ounce new Polaris gold mine in northwestern British Columbia, which is it's got a resource, 42101 resource, got a PEA done on it, and it's ready for feasibility and development. Our growth plan for new Polaris and for Canarc, and our focus right now is to find a joint venture partner for new Polaris. Our stock right now is at 15 cents. Next stage of development at new Polaris, feasibility and environmental permitting will be about $30 million. We don't feel we can do that through equity, so we're looking for a partner to help us take the property through feasibility. From an investment perspective, Canarc is a 15-cent stock right now. Our enterprise value is $16 per ounce. 6th lowest of 36 gold resource companies recently surveyed by Canaccord. The average for that sector is $68 per ounce. So you can see that Canarc shares certainly have a lot of potential and a lot of upside. Our property portfolio, we have 4 properties, new Polaris being our principal property in northwestern BC. It's ready for development. TLP, exploration gold property located in the Yukon. For those who are familiar with the Canadian exploration scene, there's been a lot of activity in the Yukon in recent years and some major discoveries made there. We believe we've got a good potential for a discovery at TLP. Windfall Hills, central British Columbia, again in the general vicinity of a major discovery there in the past few years. And Devil's Thumb is also early stage exploration property, also located in that same vicinity. TLP and Windfall Hills are both ready for drilling this year. Okay, I'll talk about new Polaris. This is our main asset. It's an advanced project. It is subject to a 15% net profit interest royalty. We can reduce that to 10% by issuing 150,000 Canarc shares, which of course we would do. 15% NPI sounds like a big number, but the reality is that the we get to claim all of our expenses to date, plus interest, plus all of our future costs, and only after all of those are recovered will we be sharing the profit royalty. Current prices, it's would start paying out in about year 7 of the 10-year mine life currently envisaged. Past production, the mine did run previously in the late 30s, shut down for about 5 years during the war years, and restarted in the late 40s, ran until 1951. During that time, produced just over 250,000 ounces of gold from 750,000 tons of ore. The grade 0.35 ounces per ton, or 12 grams per ton. The 42-101 resource, New Polaris, very similar grades, 12.3 grams per ton, 1.15 million ounces of gold, and that's at a 6 gram per ton cutoff. It is open for expansion, primarily to depth, and we feel there's a lot more potential to find more ore deep in New Polaris. We think it's got potential for 2 to 3 million ounces of gold. If it goes to 1,500 meters, the current resource bottoms out just above 600 meter level. So the resource is contained in more or less about 450 to 500 meters of depth. So you get another 500, it should double it, and plus another 500 could triple the existing resource. PEA has been done on the property. The most recent was in April of 2011, based on a 72,000 ounce per year production of gold, and 10-year mine life would generate $272 million after-tax cash flow at $1,400 gold, NPV of $195 million, internal rate of return of 43%, and a payback of just under 2 years. So property certainly has a lot of potential. Location, we're located in the Tosco Valley in northwestern British Columbia, just in over the border with Alaska, 60 kilometers east of Juneau, Alaska, and 100 kilometers south of Atlin, BC. It is an isolated location. There is no road access into this area, so access is by a river barge up the Taku River, inlet and river, and by small aircraft. On the right slide is just showing the veins systems at New Polaris, the A and B veins, which is where and the Y veins, which is where a lot of the historical production came from. The new resource at Polaris is principally in the C vein, with some minor amount in the Y vein, but principally the C vein. You can see the Tosco River just to the northeast of this slide, almost to the north of this slide, would be our neighboring property belonging to Chieftain Metals, called the Tosco Chief Mine, and I'll talk a little bit about that property as well. And it's important to our importance to our plans going forward. Claims, we got 61 Crown grants and an additional claim totaling just over 3,000 acres. There is an internal shaft, 230 meters deep, 3 adits, and about 18 kilometers of underground historical workings in the mine. So the access, small aircraft, personnel, and supplies, heavy equipment, and bulk supplies, shipping concentrates would be barged in and out seasonally on the Taku River between April and October. So about 6 to 7 months of the year you can get in and out with the major supplies and concentrates. Since 1990, Canarc has spent about $29 million on this property, principally in doing diamond drilling. We have dewatered the mine twice, been underground, and checked the ground conditions, did some sampling, and some drilling from underground as well. We do have a 30-man winterized camp, a few pieces of surface and underground equipment, and there is a small airstrip on site. The database on the property is quite extensive, 1,056 drill holes, over 31,000 samples. Not all of this is used in our current resource because a lot of that is historical drilling from the old workings of that. We do the neighboring property, Tosqua Chief Mine, fully permitted, planning to build a 2,000 ton per day underground mine, and principal minerals are zinc, and they do have zinc, copper, lead, and they have some gold and silver as well. They're currently looking for financing. They've announced their plans to build a road and start road construction later this year. And we've got a permit. The road would come from Atlan, 120 kilometers down into the valley. And of course, the road is very important for our operation as well as theirs, to provide year-round access into this area. They've also got a 4,500-foot airstrip. They've got a road. They have a barge landing already set up on their side of the river, and they've got the special use permit from the government to build a road to Atlan. Now, we've had this property for a long time, and we've done a lot of work on it. We haven't done any serious work at New Polaris since 2007 was the last effort at New Polaris. And for a number of reasons, we stopped working. One of them being that our neighbors had started to build a mine. A company called RedChip had started to build the mine across the river from us. And so we decided to let them go ahead and get their access, their barge system set up, and then we would come in later on and hopefully make an agreement with them for using that infrastructure. Unfortunately, they went bankrupt, and the property got sold, and that's why there's now a new owner at the Chieftain property. Now, so what else is new? Price of gold, of course, historic highs, 1,700, or well, just over 1,600 dollars per ounce today. When we did the first preliminary economic assessment, we were at $650 per ounce. So we're up $1,000 since 2007. Obviously, it has a huge impact on the economics of this property. Last year, in July last year, there was a new land use plan for this region of BC signed. The agreement is negotiated amongst all the area stakeholders and signed off by the First Nations, the local communities, the logging companies, trapping guys, fishing companies, environmental groups. Everybody signs off on this, including the government of British Columbia. And then in this land use plan, the Tosqua Valley has been designated for mining area. And of course, it has an history of mining there as well. The Tosqua Chief Mine also ran in the 40s and 50s. So access obviously is one of the challenges for this project. It has been one of the limiting or the factors that a little difficult to overcome. But the neighboring property guy is going to build a road. Means that we'll have year-round access into the site. We'll have to negotiate an agreement with them, of course, for using the road, and there will be a user fee. But the end of the road will be across the river. All we've got to do now is cross the Tosqua River, and we can truck our concentrate out year-round and bring our supplies in year-round. We have had a number of companies approach us, and we've been in discussions with a number of companies recently in the last few months about forming a joint venture to advance the New Polaris property. We haven't closed any of those deals yet. We're still in discussion with several companies. We're hoping that we can close one of these, make an agreement with someone fairly soon, so we can get started this year on the feasibility program at New Polaris. Just a picture of the site. You know, the coastal mountains, and we are down on the in the flats, fairly low, down to 40 feet elevation only. So don't get the heavy snows and that you do up high, of course. Okay, the model of the ore resource that we've identified.
This video is not a recommendation or solicitation to purchase or sell any security, nor does it constitute investment advice. Visit RedChip.com for full disclosures on RedChip clients.